Hey, welcome to Roleplay Cafe. It's Dale here. We're on session 30 of Alien RPG with our GM, John, myself, Doon, Todd, and Eric. And yeah, let's get stressed out. Take it away, John.
All right, so last time the group finally decided to start investigating another colony, and we arrived at colony KOI 1966.03. And when they arrived, I should preface this, along the way to this colony, there were some events that took place. One of them was that the body of their the crew's mechanic, or I guess he wasn't dead, but he had this infection. He was infected by what they believe is the black worm that was introduced, both but being contaminated inside of the ship's rations, and then also found on the first colony they went to, the Gorham colony. So their mechanic Daver has been infected for quite some time. He's been in cryostasis. There was some discussion as to whether or not he should be left behind at the mother colony, or whether they should bring him along so that Dr. Berger can do more research on how the human body progresses as the infection takes hold. So they decided that they were going to bring him along, and only 3 members of the crew stayed out of cryostasis, and that was Kip, Dr. Bircher, so he could continue his research, and the pilot, Dudge. And the reason the pilot had to stay hidden, which we actually had to retcon because we forgot to do the roll when it actually happened, was he was attempting to lose some of these Gorham pirates that were following the ship, the Solovetsky Island, with their stealth technology. And thanks to some planning that was done by Yoko, they were able to lose them during the series of jumps that they have to make it across the far spinward colonies. So Kip was taking his shift, watching Daver, while Dr. Berger got some sleep. And he started noticing some odd things happening with Daver. His skin was starting to loosen and sag away from his skull, and his skin was turning a very sickly pale. And this was enough for Kip to decide that it was best if he just disposed of Daver. And
You'll thank me later.
Daver was contained inside of a special med pod that is used for biocontainment. So it had a function that flooded the little capsule with oxygen, and then it could ignite that oxygen, which would destroy whatever's inside. So essentially, Daver was turned to a large pile of ash, much to Dr. Berger's dismay, because he had set up first of all, he had rigged up a notice that would monitor whether anyone messed with Daver, and they would notify Berger. So he got woken up abruptly by this alarm when this took place, and he was not very happy with Kip. And so there's a bit of a divide in the group. and they arrived at the colony. I think it was about 4 or 5 days later, and started scanning it, and they found that it is. I mean, this was supposed to be some sort of paradise world, and it is. It seems pretty nice. There is resources both worth mining, um, and also an abundant or possible abundant sources of both protein and vegetables and plant matter and that sort of thing that could sustain a fairly large colony here. But they did detect that there was a scouting beacon that was down on the planet, and it appears that one of the original far spinward colonies must have come here to scout out the area. Um, but this has got to be about based off of um, the beacon. It's got to be almost 8 decades old. So they're not entirely sure why the colony was never created. So they get down there and start investigating, and there is the remnants of a small campsite around the beacon. And it looks like there was some sort of, they may have been attacked by something here because some of the tents were destroyed. They found the remnants of a skeleton inside of one of them, along with a compad which they managed to supply power to and bring online. It turns out that this was a series of uh, personal logs of an expedition leader who was scouting this place out. They named it Aljana, and uh, they have been so that they arrived here and you know determined the best place to set this down. However, their retrieval ship never showed up, so they had to start uh, broadening their search in an attempt to find food once they ran out of their supplies. And that is the last. That was the last entry. Was that they had to go out and leave the immediate campsite in an attempt to find food, and there's no further entries.
Did
So there
they?
are a few. Go ahead.
Sorry, did they say which way they were going?
No, it just said that they had to cast their net out further. You're not even sure exactly how many people they have, but they would the whole team would probably be at least a dozen, if not more, people coming down here, and that kind of falls in line with the number of tents that were set up at this camp.
Can you remind
Um,
me if how many remains we found? We found human remains, right?
you
Yeah.
only found one set of remains that had this. That had this compad. You kind of look through all the other tents, and they all seem deserted. You were not able to find any other bodies.
Thank you.
So I'm going to recap the important like the important locations that you found when you did your initial scan of the planet before you came down. So the main resource location that is near the scouting beacon is it's basically inside the rock around this collapsed cliff face, which is about 25 kilometers to the north. And it was giving off signatures of some rare and highly sought after minerals, such as rhodium, iridium, and platinum. And
No
then
unobtainium though.
no unobtainium. I'm sorry, that's
No.
unobtainable in this.
Rhodinium,
Yes,
platinum,
iridium.
and iridium.
Yes,
Iridium. Okay. You said this
iridium.
iridium.
Iridium. Yep.
Yes. And this is 25 kilometers to the north.
Yes.
Okay. Right.
So then 50 kilometers to the south, there was a large group of lakes that had the scan seemed to indicate that there's some sort of multicolored biohallucinant. I can't say it.
Luminescent.
Yes, thank you.
Bioluminescence? Yeah.
Yes.
It glows.
Life. Yeah. Bioluminescence. Yes. And it's flashing all these different colors: red, auburn, green, yellow, orange. Cliff had the idea to scan it and see if there's any sort of like pattern or like signal that might be trying to be communicated, and he determined with the help of the computer that it seems entirely random. So then they're 200 kilometers to the northeast. That is a large plain. It's like more of a continuation of the plain where the beacon is right now. It's like grasslands. And there is a large herd of quadrupeds there. That is a potential source of, could be a potential source of food, may even be domesticatable. And then to the east, 100 kilometers, there is an unknown thermal signature that seems to be a mountainous region.
Okay.
Okay, I thought we last left off when we agreed to fly down and at least skim the village to see if there was any life forms.
I thought we were already at the campsite.
Oh yeah,
okay.
You guys landed. Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
You did that flyby.
Okay. All right, that's good.
You saw that it was all overgrown and
Oh, we did land.
dilapidated.
Yes.
Yeah.
We found the
Yep, and then you
remnants
land.
of a camp or of a camp or a settled site.
Yeah, because
Yep.
found that one box that was damaged by something.
Yeah, stuff was destroyed, but it's unclear exactly how and why. But
Yeah,
so,
I mean,
something tore its way through here somehow.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. I mean that box. I wonder if it holds any information. Recording any kind of tapes or electronic devices we can tap into and see if we can pull evidence off the hard drive.
No, the most of these boxes are, like basic equipment for preparing an initial colony. Yeah, like like there's like equipment for laying out where individual buildings are going to land and that sort of thing. There's really the only there's nothing in there that has any sort of recording device or anything like that.
I know that Bercher has the devices to see if there's any kind of detect any kind of alien presence, basically.
Is that one of your special abilities?
No, I mean that was created earlier. We've monitored.
Right. So you want to scan it for using your the techniques that you developed for the black worm.
Just to see whatever was ripped up, if it was maybe some evidence, DNA or otherwise, that are lingering in the area.
I'm going to say you can do this, but so far all of the scans and stuff that you've done are for recently exposed things. And
Gotcha.
since this has been setting out, like this has been exposed to elements for so long,
gotcha.
it's going to take a couple hours to to take
Well, I'm more
samples
worried
and
about
really
the
dig into
immediacy
it.
of our situation. You know what I mean? That we're not being
Right.
stalked or spied
Yeah.
upon. So
So
basically,
I
a
mean,
real quick scan of that.
you can, yeah. So if you're just going to do like a cursory scan of the area, you're not going to find any
Gotcha.
evidence of of the contagions that you've encountered so far.
Gotcha.
I mean, you could do a more thorough one if you spent the time, but
No,
that's
no,
going to
no.
require dozens of samples.
Yeah, I'm pretty. That relaxes Butcher a bit, and he breathes and kind of makes offside comment to the rest. Well, it looks clean here, at least to the immediacy of our situation. Uh, doesn't seem to be. And then he gestures toward what had ripped it up. Maybe it is from some kind of beast that rampaged through the area. Yeah, I would advise to be aware. Keep your guns at the ready. I would say, gentlemen. And I look at
Wait.
him.
Okay. How long ago do we figure this all happened, though?
It was decades.
20 years?
Decades,
I think
right?
it's 20 years.
So
20 years?
No, it's been between 70 and 80 years
Okay.
since this
Wow.
since this beacon was there.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
So so it's been quite some time.
So if they've
And
survived,
a lot of
if
things
they've
seem to
survived,
have
it's
happened.
changed. Yeah.
It-
I mean, it'd be a whole new generation,
yes, that's right.
right?
That
Or
would
Could
be-
be
two.
more locks now. Who knows?
So,
Warlocks. Yeah. Okay.
so Yoko is like, he takes a big breath of fresh atmospheric air, and is enjoying the 1G of gravity, and
Yeah.
he's focused on he's very so since this is supposed to be like a new colony prospect, he's like not in the same like scouting threat mindset that most everyone else is. He's like really thinking about like soil samples and like maybe some vegetation samples and seeing like I definitely want to take some soil to the ship to like to see if stuff will grow in it and see what works well, do more testing, that kind of stuff. I'm just like collecting dirt in the background.
Bertram follows suit once he sees Yoko doing it. Perfect. Yes, and the flora and fauna, whatever I can, and get sample wise to see the the habitability, and looking in particular for new plants, flowering plants and whatnot to examine. So anyway, I'm just following Yoko's example.
Okay. So I will say, Doon, that Yoko is his initial thoughts when he sees like some of the dirt that he takes is that it seems fairly nutrient dense, but the grass that is growing here is actually very similar to like common grass that you would see back on Earth.
Nice.
It is. I mean, it is. Gives you hope for what this soil can sustain, but the grass is not particularly interesting.
Yoko's like, I want to eat this grass.
there's-
This grass looks great.
So I would say that this is the algae lakes are probably going to give you a lot more information and give you a
Ooh.
lot more variety of plants that are capable of being sustained here.
Yeah, Yoko, looks at Berger and says, oh, where do you reckon we'll head towards first? I'm keenly interested in the algae lakes. I feel like that's like a very interesting species. I'd like to learn more about it. Maybe we can even grow stuff in the water. And I know a lot of plants that we could grow.
This is brilliant, Yoko.
We have to test the salinity. see what's going on in that water.
Yes, let me get my my tools. As I whisk off to grab my skills and examining equipment. And
Sure,
whatnot.
we can pop out of the ship and say to everyone, "Hey, want to go check out those algae lakes?"
Yeah, a little bit giddy. It's kind of rubbing off on me. Would do that, So,
I have a really shitty like a fisherman, like a cheap fake fisherman's outfit, like a hat.
Waiters.
Yeah.
All
I
right.
don't know what everyone else wants to do. I don't mind splitting the party.
Cliff will stand up because he's kind of crouching the ground, kind of messing in the dirt, kind of like a kid with a stick type thing. And when they say that, he'll go, "Yeah, I'll go with you guys." And he'll kind of
Where are you going? Sorry.
they're going to the lakes to the south.
Yeah, I think if we head south, I really want to get a sample of the water over there. So much life in the water makes me really hopeful for what's possible.
Yeah, I want to get eyes on those weird fish.
All right. Is that everybody wants to go do that?
What, you have a better idea?
Well, why? Okay. Well, my thoughts were that we could spiral out because the mineral deposits are closest, and then the algae lake, and then the thermal beacon, thermal signature, and then the food, right? So if we went north and then spiraled clockwise out from there, we could,
How many?
I guess it really doesn't matter.
Yeah.
How many days of food do we have left? Ration wise?
Quite a lot. This is most of you. Let me pull it up real quick. Hold on.
Okay,
It
I think we
is
did have a lot, but
1,215 days of number of meals, I should say.
All right.
Meals
Are
of
there
ration.
worms in the dirt?
Yes, they are a very interesting species that
Yeah,
They're not black, are they?
we're going to want to study a bit more.
exciting.
It seems to have the same. It seems to serve the same function, but it has some unique aspects to it.
We'll need to make sure it's safe to
intrigue
eat,
you.
but I'm sure you shouldn't be worried about food, Cliff.
Oh, and all that food is up on the ship. I do.
I dangle a worm. I dangle a worm, and I'm pretty sure these are probably edible. If it's anything like the nematodes back on Earth, or back in the mother colony.
I look at it and I immediately think of a worm that has like the alien jaw thing, so it's like two mouths on it and shit. And I'm like,
So I mean, you do have a drop ship, so it's not like you're hooking it to these.
Oh, so we don't have to actually trek everywhere.
Kilometers.
We can like fly and land
Right.
everywhere.
yeah.
Okay. I guess I'll look at Hamida. Wait, is it Hamida? No, it's not Hamida.
Yeah, that's actually that we should probably establish who came down because I honestly forget who we said came down.
Yeah, that is good.
Well, almost everybody
so
did.
I think Dudge stayed up and somebody else flew.
Dudge and Tan. The only ones we left were Dudge and Tan because we don't need a bureaucracy and in a paradise planet, and Dudge needs to keep the ship afloat.
Yeah, he's right about those two. Yeah.
Okay. So everyone else came down.
So
you got your medic, you got another Marine in addition to Cliff, and you have your prospector.
I say to Windows, that's not a bad idea, and I bet Emily is eager to get to the to those mineral deposits. Emily,
she says absolutely. I think I'm with Kip on this one. I think that should be our first priority. That's going to just because there's food here. There's no point in having a colony if it can't produce anything.
I kind of roll my eyes, but okay, yeah.
Sure.
The people are the value of the colony, Emily. I'm not saying that aloud. I'm thinking that.
So
yeah,
are
let's
we
go to the
gonna
mineral
take?
place. Let's take the ship and let's take a shuttle and head over to the mineral deposits and see what's
All
going
right,
on.
I'll just skip in place inside the ship as we fly. So,
Skip in place.
Skip in
yeah,
place?
I was expecting to
I
skip
mean,
through the Paradise Meadows and whatnot, going down to the algae.
Oh, you.
I mean,
Yeah, it would be nice to
I
actually.
mean,
Wait, is this first place close
first-
enough to hoof it?
well, I mean, it's 25 kilometers, so
Okay,
round
it's far.
trip.
It's far. Let's get a ride.
We,
I'll get a.
yeah, we could do it, just not piggyback. So,
No.
Maybe if we reach the animals first, we could use them as mounts and wander around the planet on these.
Oh, okay. So maybe we should go the farthest place first.
Oh, and spiral
then
inward.
spiral inward. Yeah. It's 200 kilometers out, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
I
Do this
guess it
methodically.
really
I
ain't
know
that
you
much
can't
difference.
be doing all this jumping around all over the place,
All right.
But
So
anyways.
let's just come to a decision. Which ways are we going to first?
Okay, Yoko wants to go to the algae lakes first, but
Okay, that's fine.
is very happy to go anywhere as long as algae lakes are
I
on
don't.
the
I don't.
itinerary.
It doesn't really matter to me.
yeah, I'm at the algae lakes myself.
Okay. All right. You guys feel strongly about it, and let's go.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm also like if Emily wants to go to the thing, I do think it's not a bad idea to do it with the spiral plan.
She
Minerals first.
she is willing to relent as long as she.
Okay, let's go to the lakes
promised
then. Let's go to the
to
lakes.
investigate these before leaving.
All right.
Okay, because I've got
So-
pouting as a skill. So,
Oh,
Pouting is a skill.
I have depression as a permanent trauma. Oh, do I have to
Yeah,
roll for a new day, or is this not a new day? Right, it's the same day.
No,
really
it's
good.
the same day.
It's a
Yes.
great day. I
Yep.
feel great about this planet.
All right. So you guys pile back into the dropship and start heading due south. As soon as you get up and get some altitude, you can make out the lakes from the altitude. Who's piloting? I forget. Was it?
Dudge.
No,
Good.
Dudge is not in the shuttle.
I
Dudge-
pilot. I can pilot.
Okay,
Windows.
so it's Kip is piloting.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, you Kip brings the dropship up high enough so you have a good view of it. There's about maybe, I mean, some of them blend into each other, but there's basically a series of linked lakes. There's rivers that connect each of them. There's probably about close to a dozen of them, depending on where you make the divisions. But you can make out the glowing from there. It seems to permeate the entire lake, or all of the lakes. I mean, the entire area. But it is concentrated to the lake, so it is certainly coming from some sort of algae or other underwater plant. As you get closer, you're going to have to make a decision. Do you want to land in? There's some island, like island type things, areas of where Kip can land, or you could land outside of the region and access the lakes
Up and in.
around the perimeter.
Can
Yeah.
can I boot up my motion tracker and see if there's any like big movement, like anything
Not
big?
not from up here. You're gonna have to
Okay.
wait till you land to be able to do
Mm.
that. I mean, you should be able to see it. It means it's not most of. There are some like bush or small tree like plants that are growing in patches around here, but you still have a pretty good view of the area, and you do not see any large animals.
This
I
is
was more
like
thinking
up
in the
where you're at.
water, but
Yeah, you once you land, so the range on the motion trackers is only
Yep.
like 100 meters, so it's
Right.
it's
Is-
not
Okay.
you're way too high to be able
is
to
this like
use that.
plains and lakes, or like are there like tree forest cover or?
So there's a smattering of bushes and small trees and stuff that start to grow once you get closer to the lake area.
Mhm.
but it is still mainly grasslands.
Yeah.
There seems to be a lot of a lot more of these bush-like things growing around parts of the lake or of
There's
the
no
individual lake.
signs of any, no signs of any structures or
No,
civilization or
no,
anything like that. Eh? What? So okay.
no.
So why do we want to land here? Like,
I want to
is there
grab
what
some water samples,
samples?
soil
Water
samples,
samples.
algae samples. I want to grab all of these things. Can we tell from the ship how deep the water is?
Uh, I would say I would. I mean, you can tell you can't get an exact depth, but it isn't. It can't be more than like 15 feet deep,
The
even in the
whole lake,
center.
all the lakes.
Yes,
Oh, okay.
Oh, that's not that
Shallow
deep.
lakes.
they're fairly
Right.
shallow.
All
Just
right.
to give a broad idea, all the lake. You said there's like 12 lakes, or like depending on how you divide them.
Right.
How much area are we talking about? Like, is this like a Montana, or
Probably.
is this like a...
Oh no, it's not that. No, it's not that big. I don't.
like
Is everyone
just so
familiar
it's
with
like within the state?
Is everyone familiar with acreage and like approximately how big that is?
Yeah. Yeah.
Sure.
Okay,
Yeah, pretty much.
so it's probably about 150 acres of
Okay.
space. So
Okay.
it's
Okay.
like a medium-sized farm.
Okay.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So
So you want to just land on one of the islands?
And this stop can be pretty quick if we if there's nothing going on down there. I just want to make sure I have some stuff that I can study, and then we can move on to the next spot. I think that would be just fine.
Okay. All right.
So wherever
I'll
you can
just
lay
land
this
it
down,
down.
wherever you can lay
I'm
this
going
down
to
near
land
the
it. Maybe,
water. Kip.
yeah, near one of these on one of these little islands or something. Okay.
You know what? We're like basically the first people here. We could name these lakes after ourselves. How does
That,
Lake?
yeah.
How does Lake?
Kip. Lake Kip.
Lake Falcone sound?
Lake Falcone.
Yeah.
Lake Falcone. Oh, okay. All
It
right.
has a ring to it.
Yes, it does. Yes, it does. Well, I'll let you folks worry about that right now. I'm gonna just concentrate on trying to get this thing down on the ground. Okay. Do I need to make a piling skill to put her down?
No,
Okay.
they're. I mean, assuming you want to land on one of the larger islands, then it is not going to be an issue.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah,
Larger
I mean
island.
that's like that's like at least a few acres in an area that it shouldn't be a problem to land on there.
Oh, unless I want to
Uh,
like hot shot it and put it down on a micro island.
right. Yeah.
Right.
Then that might be a little.
Are we suited
No,
for
no.
water landing?
No, I'm not going to do that. It's okay. Nice and easy. Put her down. Let these guys do their thing, and then let's book it
All
out of
right.
here. Yeah.
All right. If you guys are going to make this quick, who's going to leave the ship to
I'm leaving.
investigate?
Bircher, probably.
Yeah, I'll leave. Yeah, Bircher's already.
Yep,
All
I'll
right.
follow.
Okay. I'll stay on the ship.
All right. Everybody else is going to, the other crew members are going to stay on the ship as well. Emily's doing some preparation for landing by the mineral deposits. All right. So the three of you step out onto the drop ship, and you can see the light kind of pulsing even from this sharp angle when you look out onto the lake.
Beautiful.
From this close up, Yoko can easily verify that this is some sort of algae that is floating near the surface of the water.
Oh,
Fascinating.
yeah. I wonder if we can skim some off the
This
surface.
bioluminescent algae.
Yes. Yep, that's exactly
I
what
just
it
have
is.
standard specimen collection stuff, like a little test tube. With
Oh yeah, I think
Okay.
both he and I are like kids in a candy shop.
Okay.
Cliff
All right,
is
One of these
so-
and one of these. A little bit of blue, a little bit of green.
Cliff
Yeah.
is basically just out there for just in case something weird happens. So he's got
Alright.
his gun kind of at the
Keep a lookout for
ready.
gators. For gators, Cliff. We're gonna be right on the water's edge.
Eight
You joke.
skaters.
You
All
joke.
right.
Yeah, that's right.
All right. So is this when Cliff is going to bust out his motion detector?
Yeah, he'll have his motion detector out. Motion detector in one hand, pulse
Flamethrower
rifle in the other.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So while Bircher and Yoko are taking samples, please, one of you give me an observation roll. And the other one can help since you're both involved in this task. You can decide who's going to actually do the roll.
Okay. I've got 2 in observation, I think. What do you have? Dude.
Oh, me? Am I me? My observation's
Yes.
really good. If it's me.
Oh, I got
Yeah.
4 in observation. So what
I
you
have
got?
3 in observation, but I'm rolling 8 dice. I have 5 wits.
Oh,
All right. So it sounds like Yoko's probably going to be doing the roll.
Yep.
So you'll get an extra bonus die from Bircher's help.
Should I add that on or?
Yeah, just temporarily bump up your observation by 1 level.
Okay.
And then drop it back down.
Okay. Observation. Roll.
All right, you got 1 success.
Oh,
Would
I
you
am
like to get?
in a great mood, so I'm gonna push.
All right.
Oh,
Oh, no more
a lot of dice. No
yes.
dice.
All right. So as you are taking these samples, Yoko is pretty certain that he has actually grown some very similar algae in his laboratories. And he's fairly confident that these are actually edible.
I will quickly do the standard like edibility test, which is
Okay.
like, like rub a little bit on your skin, wait a minute, or like wait
Yep.
a little bit and see if it gives you an allergic reaction, and then like,
Yeah.
touch it on your tongue and then wait, and like put a little bit in your mouth, squish it around and spit it out, like whatever. There's like a procedure for this.
Yeah,
Sure,
fluorescent
yeah.
urine for a month. Yeah.
Cliff sees you doing that and is like, after the last few months, you sure you want to be doing that?
Look, whatever contaminants are back in the mother colony have not reached here yet.
All right.
I
Yeah,
say it
so,
confidently.
Famous last words.
Cliff just kind
Yoko,
of shrugged as he's looking at his motion detector.
yeah, so Yoko begins his process for testing their edibility. While Cliff makes this comment and turns back to his motion detector, and it seems to be giving you like false alarms all of a sudden. Like you'll see a flashing of some movement and then it'll disappear, and you track the direction with your eyes and you don't see anything.
I hit it a couple times on the top, like it's malfunctioning, to see if it fixes it.
So you smack it again and shake it a little bit, and the signal pops up for a second and then disappears.
Guys,
Go ahead.
something's going on with my motion tracker. It's saying there's something blipping, kind of biggish.
Working here.
Mhm.
Can't you see that? I'll say as I scoop more into the vials.
Get out of there, Dallas! Get out of there!
So yeah, Yoko, Cliff sees Yoko like swish, like he
spitting something out.
yeah, he licked it and swished it around his mouth and he's spitting it out, and then Cliff's eyes track some sort of about something about the size of an apple, several of them actually flying out of along the lake, and they're dipping into the water and coming back out, and they are going directly towards Yoko and Bircher.
Gentlemen, we have company.
since you have been,
Unless you're too busy.
Since Cliff has been monitoring this and has at least had some sort of warning, Cliff is going to be able to act before these things actually reach them.
Okay.
Cool.
Yeah, I can't let go of the vials in my hand and just let the contents spill out. So,
Well, unfortunately, Cliff tries to grab onto both of them and pull them back.
I'm trying to cork it, and half of them are spilling out of my arms and whatever. What?
Wait, you're
Yeah,
physically
okay.
grabbing
Backwards.
me and Bircher?
Yep.
Yep.
Oh.
Okay,
all
you're
of
trying
us
to
up.
pull them out of the water.
Pull them back. Yep.
All right. What are you doing with your rifle and your motion detector?
Well, the rifle I assume has some kind of strap on it, so I assume that's gonna
You can
swing
sling it
back.
over your shoulder.
I don't know about the motion detector. It's probably not that easy to hook up, is it?
I mean,
On the
you could just
side.
drop it. It's just a handheld device, so you could drop it.
Yeah.
Break it. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll drop it and grab them.
Okay. All right. Give me a mobility roll, and with one success, you will be able to get both of them out of the water.
There you go.
All right. Yeah. So you you drop the motion detectors, throw your rifle over your shoulder again, and rush out into the water. They're flailing around as they're pulled out. Bercher loses one of the samples he's trying to put inside of
I'm trying to
inside of the
cork it
large
up.
container.
Yeah.
And that's when these things get close enough that you can actually make out what they look like. So they are about the size of your hand. They are kind of tannish in color, so they probably blend in with vegetation and dirt fairly well. But you can see that they have these three like tentacles or proboscis that stick out of their front, and they have a series of large, razor sharp, gripping like claws, almost like an eagle talon. There's a series of them along their bodies, and they're buzzing along with these insect-like wings as they come towards you.
So wait, they've got 3 proboscis.
Yes.
Okay, and the end of those have like.
No. The claws are not on the proboscis. The
Oh, what's on the
proboscis are they
them.
seem to be they're like near its mouth, or what you assume is its mouth. You're only seeing them.
So they're space sturges.
Yes.
Space sturges. Oh, okay.
All right. So, Bircher and Yoko are going to have to make panic rolls right now. Cliff does not, because he's been on bug hunts before, and this is not a big deal to him. In order to do a panic roll, all you should have to do is
Click on stress, maybe, hopefully.
yes, just click on the word stress, and that is going to do the panic roll.
Cool.
And take your stress into
That was a good roll.
account. All right.
They have insect wings too.
So do they have to have panic clicked on their under conditions now?
No, that should happen. That only happens when they. Wait a
Mine is
minute.
clicked. I think it was automatically clicked. I think.
Oh, that's right. Yes, I'm sorry. I had Cliff's. Sorry, Eric. I had Cliff's character sheet open.
I was panicked for a second. Don't worry.
Yes. So that should happen automatically now. The change I made to the character sheet.
Looks great.
Yes. So essentially, what that means is anytime you do a further panic roll, it's just going to bump that level up steadily until you get one of the results that actually causes something to happen. Which I think is a 6, is the first time that you actually have some sort of result.
Sounds right.
Other than keeping it together. Okay, so Yoko and Bircher, see these group of, there's 3 of them flying towards you.
The thrumming and
somebody-
everything. So
Todd, can you roll a d6, please? Oh no, yeah,
Oh,
you
Todd
are
can.
in the game.
Oh, Todd can.
Yeah, I can.
Yeah, please
I can.
roll a d6, and we'll find out what attack it is.
Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. I was in a somewhat comfortable position here on the couch. I had my foot up on the dash of the. Let's see.
The dashboard
Of
on the drop ship.
of our ship here.
Perfect.
Okay, let's see. So R
/R space d6.
/R space d6. Ooh.
All right, you got it too. All right. So they are going to. One of them is going to go after each of you. Actually, I take that back. One of them is going to go after. Cliff. Another one is actually going to go after the motion detector, and the other two,
detector.
the third one is actually flying past you and going towards the drop ship. All right. All right. This is the first one that is going to be going after Cliff.
It's a lot of dice.
All right, I got 1 success. Unfortunately, it ignores your armor. And so this thing kind of like thumps into your chest. And you see the proboscis start probing around as you try, you start trying to get it off of you. And then you realize that it is not it's not actually trying to attack you, but it seems to be siphoning power from your armor and your your radio equipment, because you can see some glowing start moving up its 3 tentacles up into its, what you assume is its mouth.
The fuck?
So the second one is trying to latch on to the motion detector, but it does not seem to be able to. It doesn't seem to be getting anything out of it. It's trying to push it around and probe it for a good spot.
Good thing
the
I
other
was
one,
touching it after eating those bag of chips. It was all greasy.
the other one, another one goes directly towards the power cell on the rear of the dropship and latches on, and the lights start flashing, and the power. Kip notices the power it's almost like a brownout. Like the lights dim for a second, and he can tell that something is draining the power to the dropship.
Now, I don't know what's out there yet, do I?
No. I mean, other than the fact that you're on the comm link and you heard Cliff say something's out there before all of this started happening.
Okay. All right. Hey, guys! What's got a problem here? I'm getting some weird brownout outage kind of stuff going on here.
There's creatures out here.
There's
Something went toward the ship.
Oh crap! Okay, well it's it looks like it's like drawing power off us or something. I don't know.
It's not that big. Maybe you can get out and get it off there. I'm heading back to the ship now, I guess.
All right.
I'm not coming off the ship.
So
Somebody's got
like Yoko's just leaving Cliff to have this thing attached to him, sucking power off of him. What is Bertram going to do?
What's Bertram's there? He can help.
I stop above him, kind of not knowing how to grasp it. Then it'll reach down to try to remove it. I am a medic.
Nice.
Just grab it. Basically.
Okay.
I would take a rock and smash it, but
yeah, I mean, it doesn't seem like it isn't attached to Cliff himself. It's attached to his armor. You can see that there must be some sort of suction that its tentacles have keeping it on, but he also, those claws, those talon-like things, have like gripped onto his armor. So it's not going to be trivial. At least you don't think it'll be trivial getting it off, but you could.
Yeah. I want to bash it with something, probably the motion detector or whatever's nearest me, or the rifle.
There's just gonna be some. I mean, if you can get it, if Cliff is willing to give it to you.
Well, I think he may have dropped it, or one of the two. Whatever he
motion
dropped.
detector's dropped on the floor.
Yeah.
No, he has his rifle. The motion detector has another one of these bugs on it. But you can certainly find like a rock or something.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna grab anything I can with a quick, once over, and then try to smash it.
Doc, what are you doing, Doc? Doc, what?
I'm still.
All right, give me a close.
It hurt you more than it will me. Strength.
Give me a close
Yeah, I think it will.
Close combat.
And we'll see what happens.
Close
Aim for
combat.
the face. Aim for the face.
Oh boy.
Oh man.
All right, you're still keeping it together, but you cannot push, and you missed. I'm going to say. Well, I mean, the rock's not going to do any armor.
I said hold still. He's obviously rocking about back and forth.
Yeah, so the cliff shifts just a little bit as the rock comes down, and it just hits his armor. Cliff isn't going to be in danger of taking any damage because there's the rock against his marine armor. So
that's my favorite plate on my armor.
But this thing is pretty small and still seems to be trying to siphon power from Cliff's suit.
I'll try to grab it and get it off.
Okay. Well, you already took your action, so you're gonna have to wait.
Yeah.
What is Cliff going to do?
I'm gonna take my pulse rifle, put the other part in my other hand, and just squish it up against my chest against it.
Okay. Go ahead and give me a close combat roll.
Bear hug attack?
Well, no, I got my gun,
rifle, bear hug.
Yeah, my rifle, and then just push it up against me. Close combat, you said?
Yes.
Nope.
Wow. Do you want to push?
Push it. Oh, for fuck's sake.
All right. You're right. All right, you're keeping it together. It's okay. So, and you succeeded. You take the rifle, and as you start to push up against it, you can see it is very flexible, almost like it's a rubber ball. And so you realize you have to press it in really tight, and the thing
I'll relay that to the doctor. It's like a rubber ball when I'm squishing it. You said it's at work, right?
It almost pops like a peach, and you can see that there's some organs you can make out, and you definitely killed this thing.
Gross.
You said it pops like a peach?
Yeah, like an overripe peach. Like you can just squish it in your hands.
Peaches pop?
Bertram.
Okay, all right.
temperature recoils a little bit from the spray. And yes, I can see that you got it effectively. I don't know what that is, but look yonder. There's one on the your device. Get up, and I'm trying to help him up.
Well, I didn't think I fell down, did I?
No,
Oh.
no. You're just covered in ichor.
Good.
I mean, pick yourself up to a higher station in life.
I go, thanks,
All right.
Doc, and I pat his shoulder, which is covered in guts on it. So, and then go to my motion tracker.
Yeah, this thing is still fumbling around with it, trying to siphon something off of it.
I radio Kip.
Oh,
Does the ship have any like flare it can shoot out to see if we can distract these things?
a flare?
Yeah, they
Let's
seem to be
see.
distracted.
I can squirt an oil slick. I've got an ejector button.
Yeah, hit the
Um,
ejector button. That's
Yes,
it.
it does. It does have defensive, defensive countermeasures.
I'm checking the
I don't know
manual.
where.
Okay, so we have a. Let's see here. Let's see. Going through this thing here. Page
Miss Sophia?
470. All right. Yeah, here it is. Here it is. Yeah. Okay, so I got some sort of defensive flare thingy I can use.
Yeah.
All right, let's do that.
I don't know if it'll do anything, but
Well, maybe we'll get this thing that's on the power cell too. Get it to let go.
that's kind of more worried about that than my motion.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right.
All right.
So.
All right.
Yeah, Kip. Kip doesn't have to do any rolls or anything. He launches one of the flares. Everyone can see it go up into the sky, and these things do not seem to be drawn towards it.
Okay.
Right. Well, then I
How'd that work?
I'm running toward the ship. I'm trying to look to see if I can catch eyes on the one that we saw head that way.
Yeah, you can see it. Just above the engine, latched on to the hull of the ship, and it, the head and the tentacles you can see are glowing a very bright yellow, as it seems to siphon off the energy from this thing. Kip notices that the battery cell is draining on the ship. It is going.
Yeah.
I mean, the drop ships do not have an infinite amount of fuel on them. They're powered by batteries that are recharged each time they land somewhere. I mean, it's not in danger of running out of energy right now, but if you don't get this thing off of it, then it eventually will just suck it dry.
All right. Okay.
Can I shoot?
We want to do something about that out there, guys. We got this thing's it's drawing off a bit of energy there.
I have something, right? A handheld firearm. Can I shoot at it?
Yeah, I think sure. Yeah,
I have
you're pretty confident.
Yeah,
You're pretty confident you're not going to damage the drop ship. I mean, it is pretty armored. It's not like a small arm like that is going to do.
It's worth it.
All right.
Can I click to range combat then?
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm definitely pushing.
All right.
Yeah. Oh wait, I didn't miss, but I can still push.
You hit. I'm
gonna push because I'm in a good mood. Okay, thank you. Sorry.
All right.
Pew pew pew. 3 shots.
Yeah.
I want to think you made those noises when you shot.
And both hit, and this thing just like explodes. And there, you almost see like a small pulse of energy when it explodes.
Oh yeah, definitely. That doesn't make any sense, but it also makes perfect sense. Thanks, Yoko.
All right.
I got. How's the ship? How's the ship? Windows.
I'm just looking at here now. So
hostile.
Okay, all right. So is our power levels coming back up?
It's not coming back up. It only goes down. It's not. So
It's not recharging.
Yeah, it has to be plugged into the ship to recharge. But
Okay, but it's not going down any further.
No, you're like between the flight down here and what it absorbed, you only lost 10% of your battery
Okay, all right.
or your fuel cell, I guess.
Okay,
Depending.
all
on how
right.
you're gonna think.
Yeah, okay. You seem to have stopped the drop in power loss. That's good. Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot.
Kip, we're gonna need to come up with something. If these things are prevalent on this planet, we're gonna need a defense for the dropship. Do you have any ideas? It's these things. I saw the thing when it was attached on the outside. It was sucked onto the power cell, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anybody, any of those scientist types out there going to get like a sample of this thing?
I don't. I think the one I
there's
shot.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, there's not much left. I mean, you get some biological samples.
Okay.
There's a complete live one right here.
If
Can
we
you
can,
capture it? Can you capture it?
That's what I was going to point out.
yeah,
It
I
is-
want to capture it since Kip said that, since we can possibly use it as an energy source.
Oh, dang! Wasn't thinking about that. That's a good idea, Vercher. Wow.
There
Maybe
you
we can
go.
catch it, so we can try to catch it. You know.
Okay, so
Yeah.
what are you going to do? So it's fumbling around with Cliff's motion detector, trying to siphon power off of it. It hasn't. It doesn't seem successful because it isn't latched onto it. What is your plan to try to capture it?
It's occupied, Cliff. You think we can bag it? Just bag it up, take it back. I could put it in that containment facility that Daver used to reside in.
Oh yeah, that's open now, isn't it?
Yeah, potentially
Gotta
we could.
It's gonna vacancy.
+1 cryo chamber.
Yeah, since
Yeah, I'll try to grab it. You got anything to grab with? Otherwise, I got an idea too.
Just throw a coat over it. Smack it with
Coat.
a hammer.
Use your
Yeah,
powered
I'm sure
armor
you
as a bait.
All right, so you're just going to try to grab it with your hands and like latch
I was
onto it?
gonna. I assume I have some kind of helmet type thing, and I was gonna try to use the
Yeah.
helmet as kind of
Yeah,
cover.
there you go. That's what I'm talking about.
Okay. I'm going to say this is going to be a mobility roll rather than
All
a close
right.
combat roll. You got to sneak up on it
I'm
and
fairly quick
get
with
your
my
helmet around
ability.
it.
Five total, basically, with
I
agility.
mean, if I got 5 total with the mobility as well because of agility.
All right.
So,
Maybe both
Alright.
of us can,
if you want to distract it, yeah, or whatever.
All right. Yeah. If
Could it help?
Yeah.
yeah, so you can bump it up one briefly while you do your roll. And drop
Hey, how about that?
3 successes.
Oh,
All right.
Oh.
Yeah. So
I capture it, befriend it, and start breeding it all at the same time.
Name
It is
name
now
it
your
Jumbo Jim.
Pokemon.
Yeah, it's Pokemon now.
yeah, so you successfully get your helmet around it. You close the visor. It's pinned to the ground. It is completely secure. With your so I'm going to say that's 2 of your successes. The first one was to capture it, and the other
Mhm.
was to make sure that it has no way to get out
Okay.
until someone comes to secure it. The third success is going to be that you notice that the motion detector is like flipping out again. Like you are seeing signals flash in very briefly, but there are a whole lot more of them now.
I
Same
think
size.
we got more coming. Can I grab the motion detector now?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
Yep.
I'll grab it and secure it, and then kind of hint. I think we need to go to our next spot. I captured
Alright.
one of these energy suckers. If you have some way to get it in, but we need to hurry.
Okay.
Fire up, Windows. We're taking off.
Oh yeah. Okay.
I'll
All
be
right.
in the door.
Where do you
I'll,
want to
like,
go to next? You want to go to the mineral deposits? Head straight north out of
let's
here.
take off first, and then we'll decide where to go. I'm manning the door so that I can close it at the last second, so that as our friends
Okay.
come on.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
All right.
Yeah.
Let's take off and get out of here.
Run!
All right. So the dropship takes off, and you leave the lakes behind. Where are you going to head off to now?
Yeah, it sucked.
It's so ominous.
Ominous. Oh well, I don't know. After that,
Or we want to go to
Here.
the cliffs, or we want to go to the giant dinosaur Jurassic Park area.
That's the
The
farthest
giant
out.
dinosaur Jurassic Park.
The
That large
that's where
quadruped.
the quadrupeds. Okay.
Go to the hot springs. The hot springs. You know. Doesn't matter to me. Here, flip a coin.
A what?
Here. Flip a credit chip.
Flip a credit. Yeah.
If we're actually deciding, Yoko's most interested in the herd animals, right? More biology, more eco. Like I'm
All
learning
right,
so much
okay.
about this ecosystem here and how everything.
All right.
Okay.
Well, if we're going to these large quadrupeds, I'm going to need a bigger helmet to capture one.
If there's anything I learned from alien
Your head's
movies, it's that people
your
don't wear
head's big
helmets.
enough.
I don't want to
Big
count
enough.
that as a banter roll, John, so everyone can
Ooh.
lower their stress by 2.
Ooh.
Or is that enough
Yeah,
time to do
I'm
that?
sorry. Yeah, I mean you're just flying around. You can.
Okay.
It would if you're going to go to the herds, and it's still like 200 kilometers away. So I'd say that's a lot.
We got
Enough
time.
time for
Right.
some snarky talk.
Some
All right.
banter.
So everybody lowers their stress by 2.
Okay.
Wow, we have a power teammate.
Yeah.
That's huge. That is like absolutely huge. And I'm having a good day, so I can actually reduce my stress. If I was having a bad day, I wouldn't be able to.
All right. So
Okay.
I feel like
We're
just
putting that,
reconnecting with Yoko
are you going to
today.
the
He doesn't
herd?
know why.
Yeah.
If we got a place to immediately secure this and drop ship, I don't know.
Yeah.
Oh,
We have
Yeah,
food
there's
containment
something. Yeah,
yeah.
vessels, right?
absolutely.
I can also spend some time with this thing. So maybe we should go to the mineral place first, so that I can spend some time with this creature.
Maybe give it a little battery to eat.
I want to spend a turn on it because I have this special ability that I can study it with.
Okay. All right. So
is
Go to
everybody else
minerals?
going to do
So
something
Yoko's
else?
actually changing his tune and thinking, oh, we can go to minerals first. Emily seems pretty excited.
Sure. I'm okay with it. Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. So you decide to head over to the collapsed cliff where you got the signals of the mineral deposits. It appears like some sort of landslide took place here. And it seems to have caused the entire cliff face to come down. So there's a lot of rubble and stuff around the base of this, of this mountain range. There's plenty of there's an area that you could command that's about 1,000 meters away.
You said there's a landing area.
Yeah, so there's an air, not like a landing pad, but there's a clear area from the debris from the landslide that you could land a kilometer away. But if you want to get closer, it would require a piloting roll to successfully land in that area closer
Let's
than that
do it. Let's
1
do
kilometer.
it. Let's do it. I don't want to be like a kilometer away. Yeah, we don't want to be a kilometer away from the ship, right? No. So let's just let's just do this here. Hold on. Okay. And piloting says to do it. Did
No, I'm
it?
just seeing Dell say BRB.
Okay,
Whoa.
Barbie.
So I'm not seeing.
What kind of
seeing.
dice
Try
is
that.
that?
There we go. There we go.
Whoa.
Ones.
Oh, okay. You got
Oh.
3 successes. And but you did get a 1 on your stress die. But you're
Shouldn't
still
your
keep-
stress be
keeping it
cleared
together.
out?
Okay, so I get one more stress then.
Oh yeah. Did you?
Yeah, I already took them down.
Oh, you
Oh,
had
you already
3?
took it
Okay.
down. Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
I already had. Yeah, I had 3. I
So,
took it down.
yeah. So you're still keeping it together, but you
Is that? Did that just add the 1 onto me there? 1 stress,
it
or I have to
no
add it?
that no. It
No,
doesn't.
no.
You don't need to add any stress. You just
Oh,
got
okay.
the 1 stress die that you had just became a 1, and you did your
Okay.
panic roll automatically,
Mhm.
and you got a
Okay.
6, which is actually 6 is still keeping it together. It's 7 when you're not keeping it together anymore.
Right. Okay.
So, but because you didn't push, your stress didn't go up.
Because I
So
didn't
it should
push
stay
my.
at 1. Yeah, you
Okay.
didn't. Your stress only goes up when you push, or some other cause happens of like seeing something horrible, or someone else's stress effect can increase your stress.
Murdering a
So
friend.
so your stress will still be at 1.
Okay.
All right. So you got 3 successes.
Mhm.
I'm going to obviously the first one allows you to land a lot closer.
Okay.
So I'm going to say that you can. The 1 success would get you 500 meters away from the interesting part of the cliff face that's collapsed. If you want to get even closer than that, you can with your other successes, or I can give you some information um, while you're landing that
At
like
500. At
interesting things that
500
you point out.
meters.
Yes.
Right.
So it's
But
up
I'd
to
have
you.
to. I'd have to. So I can get closer, or I can get some information. Okay.
Yes.
Well, I think, yeah, get a little closer and get some information. So sure, we'll go for 500 meters.
Okay. All right. So as you are bringing the dropship down, you can see that there is you can make out large chunks of mineral ores scattered everywhere. So it's almost like the part of the cliff that came down had ore in it itself. Uh, and Emily's uh, watching this over your shoulder, and she says, "If it's that close to the surface, there's tons of it in there. This
It's
is
pretty good.
this is priceless." And as you're landing, you're scanning the ground around you to find a good spot, and making sure that all the ship, like all the edges of the ship, are going to clear all the rubble in
Right.
the area. And that's when you notice that there is some sort of burrowing creature that briefly emerges and then disappears back into the ground.
What is that? Did you see that?
How large are we talking here?
I said, I don't know.
It could it was hard to see because I only saw a part of it, but
Oh, right.
it's to be. It has to be at least several meters long.
Well,
Like the burrow hole itself is like like a meters.
It's not really. It's not really a hole in the traditional sense. It's almost like its back emerged from the ground and then disappeared, and there's like a trench where it emerged out of the ground very briefly.
Yeah, yeah. So it's not a hole that we can go into, but there's like a pile of dirt where it was.
Yeah, or a trench, or a kind of a trench where it emerged briefly as it was moving across through the ground.
Cool.
okay. Well, I'm gonna be careful with this thing. Is it
so we're
like
landing near
eating?
the trench?
Yeah, you're about 500 meters away from, or if you 1,500 feet for those who don't know metric, uh, from the actual cliff face that collapsed. So the ground is like littered with rocks and ore and all
Mhm.
kinds of stuff that that it deftly avoided when bringing down the dropship.
Is there a sense of how when like is this an old landslide or is this like a fresh landslide? Is there a sense of that?
Um,
Maybe based on
give me an
vegetation, based on like how much over.
give me an observation roll, um, and we'll see if you can figure that out. All right, 2 successes. The first thing you notice is that this was caused by erosion. Nothing, um, nothing smashed into this and caused it to break like this. It wore away. It's hard to say how long ago it was, but you do make out another one of these burrowing creatures briefly inside of the rock face,
Close to
with
the
the
cliff,
with the
where the cliff.
remnants of the mountain itself. So if you think like the cliff, imagine like this cliff jutting out from this mountain, and the entire cliff came off and shattered into pieces as it hit the ground, and spread and is strewn across the area. The mountain is still there, and you could make out one of these things briefly emerge from inside of the mountain. So you suspect that whatever this burrowing creature is may have been the main cause of this landslide, because they wore away the rock so much that the cliff couldn't maintain uh, maintain itself anymore and just gave way.
I'll share that with everyone else, right? I mean, like based on the cliff, it looks like it's erosion or some kind of natural caving in. And I see, based on the burrowing creatures around here, it's likely that may have affected the integrity of the cliff.
Have we got an eye what the creature looks like, or is it just big and burrowing?
Uh, it, it it's probably mostly like snake-like. It's hard to say if it has legs, because you're only seeing its back emerge briefly. But you are confident it is at this point. I think between the two sightings of it, it's probably between 5 and 10 meters long. And these are definitely 2 different ones. This is not the same one, because they're so far away from one another. So, while you're trying to figure out what to do, Emily is getting some gear together. So I'm going out there and taking some samples. We need to know exactly what these things are, or what this ore is.
There's giant
Hurry along.
snake monsters out there, right?
She looks at Cliff for a second and says, "Worth it." And she hits the door, and the door slides open, and she jumps out with a large bag for collecting some samples, and just starts manically picking pieces of ore up off of the ground.
She'll be back. That's what she's here for.
Cliff size, and then goes towards the door and readies his gun. He's gonna go on Overwatch for this part.
Hey Cliff, if you you did the best job out there, your sample's probably the most valuable one. If you can grab one of those, we'll see. Let's see what you can do out there with those burrowers.
All right, I need my hat back then.
I can hand you your helmet. Sure.
Okay. I don't know how you have the energy bug secured now. I assume
it right safely to some other containment.
Yeah, it's probably contained now. Yeah, I got my helmet back. I'll clean it up a little bit.
There's a little bit of slime on coating the inside. You're not sure if it's
like cookies.
If it excreted this, or where this came from exactly. But yeah, you're probably used to it.
I'm not going to think about it that much.
All right. All right. So what is everybody else doing? Is everyone staying in the ship? I guess I should clarify that first.
Well, I gotta be here in case we gotta, take off really quick. So I don't see any reason. Let's actually want to go out and check that power cell. Make sure it's okay.
That's a good idea. Check
Yeah,
the. You
okay.
should
so
check the outside of the ship. Also, brainstorm. Windows. See if you can come up with some defense for those things, because if there's more on this planet, which I'm willing to bet there's more of them.
Yeah,
Need
I'll
some
think
kind of
about that
defense.
while I'll do a walk around of the ship and yeah. Note any
Yoko plans
damage.
to study the creature, so not planning to be on the expedition.
Okay.
Yeah.
Uh,
Berkshire isn't either.
No, okay, no, what's going on?
all right.
He's staying on
Awesome.
board.
So
Awesome.
is
Lakota
Kip
can go.
going outside the ship?
Yeah,
to
I'm having a
this,
look
or-
around the outs. Quick little walk around, checking for damages, make sure everything's copacetic.
Okay. So while Yoko and Bircher are preoccupied with this power sucker thing, Cliff, is on Overwatch. Keeping an eye. He can see Emily very clearly as she's picking these things up.
Do I see Kip coming out?
Kip, yeah. I mean, Kip has to go right by you to
Can I
get
kind of
outside of the ship.
whistle to the other Marine to kind of follow him?
Yes, yeah. So Hamada um, grabs her rifle and goes out to escort Kip as he makes his way around the back of the ship to inspect that the fuel cell. All right. So Cliff is watching Emily, and you can see her reaching towards a very large piece of ore. You imagine her eyes are wide, and dollar signs are. She has dollar signs for pupils,
Credit signs.
figuratively. Your credit signs, yes. And
Wait, ladies, tiny signs.
she loses her balance and falls and just nails her knee against a large jagged rock, and you can hear her scream out in pain as this happens. She kind of rolls off of the rock that she landed to
I
and is
immediately run over
grabbing.
to her.
All right. Yeah, you run up to her. She is moaning in pain. You can see that blood is coming out of her knee. I would assume everybody else hears this happen. Is this going to stop anybody from doing what they're doing?
I was hoping Lakota
Yeah.
would be out there. I don't know if Lakota's interested in going out.
I don't. I'm going to say that Lakota's staying on the ship.
Training with
Well,
Berkshire.
I actually, or no. When she hears this happen, she's going to go out. I'm going to say,
Okay.
but she didn't go out on
Got it.
leave the ship initially. But she runs out. Lakota's going to run out to try to treat the injury because she's the ship's medic. And yeah, she runs up behind Cliff and tells him to give
Got
her
her
some
here. Do you want to
space.
bring her back to the shuttle?
Let me see what it is first. Let me see how bad it is.
Right.
I don't want to risk in making it worse. And
As
she
she's
starts inspecting.
as she's
Go ahead.
expecting, I'm going to continue looking around, eyes peeled, because I don't trust those snake things.
What did I hear out there? Berkshire comes over the intercom. Is someone hurt? You
Emily,
need my expertise.
Emily lost her balance. We have the medic out here looking at her right now.
The
You can
medic.
buy a new leg, Emily.
All right, I'll be on the way. I say, Berkshire
I'm
out.
not going anywhere. I'm fixated on this creature. I'm studying. I'm full on analyzing it with my special talent.
I stop at the door and say, "I'll be back, Yoko." But when you're so entrenched in your focus, I just break my attention and walk out the door.
I say, like I heard what you said. Maybe.
Yeah, I just go on.
No thanks, I'm not thirsty. What?
Lakota said, she tore open, her pant leg and inspected and says, I think it's safe enough to move her. We should probably take her weight while we make our way back. And she convinces Emily to get back up, and she throws an arm around Lakota's shoulders and is gesturing to be able to throw her other arm around Cliff's shoulders.
I got it. I just lift her up the whole way.
Okay, so
I'll meet them halfway and try to take over that and brush them off to continue their duties while I
I
help
see.
her back.
You're gonna retrieve the specimen.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay, so the question is not whether Cliff can do this. It's about how fast he can move while carrying her and navigating all these rocks and everything.
Okay.
So give me a stamina roll,
All
and
right.
we're going to determine whether or not you need to take your time getting around all these things. You do not.
Okay.
So yeah, you got a good trot going as the three of you make your way back to the ship, and you hear Emily grunt in pain each time you have to hop around one of the boulders. And she says, "You're going to go back for all the samples, right? We need to bring those with us."
I think that's what Butcher's going to get right now.
Oh, okay. And she looks up and says, "Thanks, Bircher," as he runs by to go grab the
No,
samples.
I'm not. Birch is not running by. He's
Oh,
stopping to retrieve Emily and help her walk back. I'm kind of looking at.
Oh.
Oh,
Okay.
I thought you were going down there. Right.
Sorry,
I mean,
I
if
meant
you guys are gonna help her
I'm
out,
looking at Cliff
Emily.
No,
Okay.
I just turned and I'm ushering the way forward. You know what I mean? Mind the big rocks as I'm leading you back to the ship.
oh,
Okay.
He had no
I'm like,
information
yeah, I got this. Why don't you go get the material?
material.
Yeah, the stuff Emily was catching.
She needs my attention and my care.
Lakota says she speaks up and says, "I can take care of it, Bircher.
Yeah, it seems like
I
Lakota
deal
has
with this stuff all the time."
I love it.
I kind of stand there and slack-jawed a
I
little
love
bit.
sending
looking-
Bircher by himself out into the wilderness. Let's do this.
Cliff will, like when after he walks by, Cliff will turn and say, "I mean, you said you had some work to do, right?"
You're the one better equipped to handle those.
I'm sorry, I'm carrying an
Nasties.
injured person right now. Maybe
Alright,
after I set
then.
her down, I'll come back and get it.
I'll make sure you carry her there in good order, and not harm my patient. This way, and I'm pointing out the rocks. Mind the big rocks.
Okay, so nobody's going out. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so
All right.
the four of you managed to get Emily back to the dropship safe. Her leg, after some closer inspection, you're confident like she didn't break anything. It's just a really deep wound. She might have some ligament damage, but it's nothing that you can't take care
You
of.
be so rash, girl, just to
It's
run
just
out
the
there.
MCL. You'll heal in a few
You've
weeks.
got to plan these things.
After he sees Butcher getting ready to start lecturing her, he kind of sighs
Butcher.
and walk. Yeah, he does call you Butcher a lot.
I know
He
this,
He does it on purpose too. He'll sigh and go back out to where Emily was making the samples and try to find that bigger one. She had
Okay. Yeah. So she
credit side,
had like
right?
she had a small bag that she was filling up with or she obviously she dropped that when she fell and it's scattered all over the ground. It's near that really large uh piece that is like bigger than a basketball. So it wouldn't have even have fit inside of the bag. Um, the the other pieces she took were pretty small. So you can make your way back there pretty easily.
Mhm.
As you are picking those things up, you hear a loud sound that seems to permeate the entire ground. You can see the ore vibrate as you're picking it up. It almost sounds like uh, like a musical instrument that is blaring under the earth itself.
Mm.
Interesting. I'll go on
And
comms
as
real
soon
quick. You guys hearing this?
they can certainly, it's more faint for them, but they could certainly hear it.
I'm not responding.
Do I? Now that they've all gone back in the ship and all this. I look at Hamada, and say, "Shall we continue?" Right? And like, I'm totally like Hamada. She's she's a she, right?
Hmm.
Okay,
Yes.
I got this right. So I'm totally unaware that Cliff has kind of like got her watching me. Okay, I'm thinking she's just kind of like into me a little bit. Okay, all right.
Okay.
So and I'm just gonna play hard to get. Okay,
All right.
so
Uh,
so
so yeah, you can. So everyone could have hear that. I will tell Kip, maybe looking over his shoulder every once in a while to see if
mhm,
what Hamid is doing and seeing if
yeah,
she's staring dreamy-eyed at him.
yeah,
But he is not finding anything wrong with the
okay,
with the ship. The engine seems in order. There's
okay,
obviously a very slight indentation where Yoko shot this thing, and there's some ichor and stain, and like there's like an ichor stain on the side of the ship, but that'll probably
hmm,
burn off when you go into orbit again. So the ship
okay,
seems fine. Uh, and after this analysis is finished, that's when you hear that low, uh, like background blaring sound that uh, that Cliff heard, uh, much louder. So I mean, everyone heard this to some extent, even people inside of the ship. But from Cliff's point of view, it is really loud, and like the ore and everything, and he vibrated. The ground vibrated when it happened. Um, he's not quite sure where it came from, other than inside of the ground itself.
what is that?
I think that's what they call rock music.
All right, is Cliff going to continue picking up the ore after he hears this?
I think Cliff's gonna take out his motion detector.
Okay.
Oh yeah, oh yeah,
Yeah, so you pull out your motion detector, fire it up, and in the 100-meter range that you can see on this thing, you notice a couple larger dots that are moving around.
uh-oh.
You
Things come in
suspect
handy.
they're not coming towards you. They're kind of scattering scattering around. They move fairly fast for being underground.
Hmm.
Um, And there's something that seems that throws you a bit off because there seems to be an even larger signal, uh, and give the motion sensor a smack again,
Oh,
and kind of like take a couple steps forward, and it seems that there is an even larger signal that is not able to be encompassed within the screen of the motion sensor further ahead of you.
Wow.
And it seems to
oh
be
no.
moving
There's something
in
big
your
coming towards
direction.
us, guys.
Uh-oh.
Chip, you might want to warm up the engines. We need to get out of here, I think.
Yeah, okay. All right.
Back on the ship.
Yeah, that's no
Oh
cave.
man, Cliff
Yeah.
is gonna do something stupid.
What's Cliff gonna do?
He kind of rubs his chin, kind of rubs the little bit of stubble that's gone there since he hasn't shaved in a while, and
He's
he
gonna
kind
go
of goes, "God
down
damn it!"
like the cliff before him.
Yeah, he's like, "God damn it!" And he tries to grab that big basketball size sample before he heads back.
Okay. So this is going to require a mobility roll in
Okay.
order to, or are you going to leave all the other ore, I should say,
Oh, the
and
other
just
one's in a
take the
little
big one?
bag, isn't it?
Well, it's like it's kind of like maybe in a 2 gallon bag type thing. So I mean, it's not like what I meant by a little bag was I meant something you could sling over your shoulder, not like a gigantic thing that you could drag around. Uh,
It's like a
Wow.
and so
briefcase or something. Something awkward and annoying that holds a little bit.
it's like the size of a backpack. We'll just say it's like the size of a backpack.
Okay,
Where
and I can't like just
this
sling it
big,
on me. I have to have a free hand
you
for it.
can. Well, I'm going to say that you're picking up like a piece of ore bigger than a basketball.
Mm-hmm.
So unless you roll really high on your stamina, actually, if you want, you can do a stamina roll, and we can determine whether or not you're able to carry both of these. Maybe that's the
Okay, I'll do
best way
that.
to handle this.
I'm gonna do it.
All right.
It's a pretty good roll.
I'm gonna push, and I'm gonna hit the multi push on this one. Unless you say this is
Multi
good,
push.
because I got that
Oh,
past the limit
You have the
talent.
super stamina. Awesome.
Oh, okay,
Whoa.
sure,
I have
sure.
super wits. I haven't used it yet.
All right, go ahead.
Nothing, and I get to push one more time.
Wow.
Okay.
Look at you go.
Well,
Worth.
there's 3 success. I was gonna say I was kind of hoping for that, so let's go.
All right, but you are actually still keeping it together because
Okay.
your panic roll is not quite over the threshold of 7. So you
Oh, hold on a second. It says more panic.
No, you're good.
it's no. More panic means, so what that means in your result is whenever your
Okay.
roll is lower than your current panic level,
Oh, okay, I got you.
that just bumps it up one level rather
Okay.
than so you just
Okay,
went
my
from
fault.
3 to 4 is what essentially should have happened.
My fault. Okay, I get you now.
Okay. So, yeah, you do sling the smaller bag over your shoulder,
Hmm.
and you just scoop up the giant piece of ore with your left arm, and easily make it back in time. And as you are approaching the ship, you can feel the ground begin to rumble as you see the panicked look of everyone, your crew members, or a couple of your crew members who are looking out of the dropship door as they see the ground begin to give way and
Oh
some
fuck.
large creature emerge out of it. And this thing looks, um, it has two, for like the two arms that you can see Unfortunately, I don't have a picture. I can post that later. There's two forearms that you can see, but its mouth kind of comes to like a stub, and you can see all of these razor sharp teeth that it must use to burrow through the ground. And this thing must be the mama of all of the little ones that you were seeing previously, because it is well, I mean, just the part that is sticking out of the ground is several hundred feet long, um, and you don't know where it ends, and you can't barely even make out the mountain on the other side of this thing.
What? Holy
That is not good.
This surely is the paradise planet.
we got to get out of here.
All right. So, with the high roll, that the number of successes that Cliff got in his stamina roll, he makes it back with plenty of time to be able to load up the ship and take off without concern
Oh,
of
yeah.
this thing reaching the dropship.
Okay, but now we know. Okay, so we got
I'll just
space
go by
surges
Emily
to
and
the
go,
south.
I got your rocks.
Yeah,
Here you go.
yeah. Space surges to the south and big giant.
Base turtle to the south, and a keg to the left.
Okay. Wow. So far, so good.
Yeah.
All right. So then, shall we plot our next destination?
I feel like we might need to have better defenses on this shuttle.
Yeah. Why don't we head back to the beacon site and just drop her down and see if we can do some more work on it, or if we can't, we go back up to the main ship and see what we can do before exploring those other two areas.
Well, what do we need to do? Why don't we just go to the grassland?
The what?
The
Grassland?
with the herd animals. Jurassic Park.
Okay. I thought you wanted to get some sort of defenses built up on the ship first.
I mean, I don't have any ideas. If you have any ideas, we can certainly implement them.
Well, I don't know. So far, we get some creatures here that want
energy sapping bugs.
Yeah. So I'm not gonna like put energy on the hull of the ship, like try and electrocute them, because they'll probably just love that, right?
How about just a old battery that we could eject and use that as the flare instead of the flare idea that you had?
Oh, like a decoy, like
yeah,
chaff.
send out an old battery and let them eat that instead or something.
Oh, okay, all right, sure.
Do we have something like that?
I don't know if we have any old batteries around here, but there's that old tractor down by the beacon. You know,
yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah, that
might be able to charge that up and then use that as like dropping food for monsters to chase, this sort of idea. Yeah. All right.
At least we'd have that as an option. Why don't we do that?
Sure.
Pick it up.
I think it's a good idea. All right. Why don't we do that?
I like that.
I like it.
Okay. All right. Yep. So you guys fly back to the campsite, land. I'm sorry. No. Lakota is like finishing up a splint for Emily. You guys managed to pull the battery out of this tractor and plug it into the dropship to get it partially charged. It takes a little bit of finagling to, get it to accept the charge because of what old technology this tractor is, but Kip figures it out in about 10 or 15 minutes by splicing the wires directly into the power supply of the dropship. And you have it at about, like, maybe you gave it like 25%, we'll say, or were you thinking less than that?
It's fine.
Oh, what? The tractor battery? Like how much?
Yeah, like how much of the ship of the dropship's battery?
Oh,
were you
yeah.
thinking?
We're not going to give it a whole huge amount, just enough to, you know,
Okay, like so, like 10,
yeah,
15% or
10%.
something like that.
Yeah.
Okay,
Maybe
all
a
right,
nice little enticing tidbit for it.
all right.
Yeah.
The uh, yeah. So I mean, between those two things of patching up Emily and charging up the battery, that takes about an hour or so. And you feel like you are ready to go again,
Okay.
unless there's something else at the camp you want to do.
No, okay.
I say we go to the grasslands, unless anyone's interested in the mountainous thermal signature.
I have a feeling we should save that one for last.
Yeah.
See
Sounds
all
like
these
hell.
animals.
All right. You start heading to the northeast, and once Kip gets you a bit closer, you can see that the grasslands kind of opens out into like just an endless plains from where you are. It seems to be a different species of grass because it's really long and it would probably be like ankle high when you're inside of there. But you can make out these several species of creatures. Uh, One of them seems to be like some sort of bovine, and that's a cattle if you don't know what bovine is. But it seems to be they seem to be in these large herds. Uh, they are relatively um, relatively large, probably about maybe 500 to 600 pounds each. They are in a herd of approximately 1 to 200 of them. But you notice that you can make out uh, there is some other creature that looks like it may be attempting to hunt some of them. You can see a group of them stalking the very edge of this herd, uh, and they are probably going to pounce
Oh.
relatively shortly. Are you going to try to get closer so you can see this happen, or keep your distance? Uh, you have distracted some of these bovine creatures, uh, with just um, the sound of the dropship flying.
Uh-huh. Hmm. Well, I think we should just observe. Okay? I mean, I know what we're dealing with.
It's fascinating.
Yep, I agree with Kip.
Yeah.
All right. So let's just sit back and watch.
All right, as if you're not going to get any closer, you can see that these things that are stalking them uh, almost look like uh, large slugs from where you're at.
Weird.
But you can make out that there are. They don't slither or move like a slug does. They seem to have some sort of apparatus on them that allows them to move more quickly because they apparently just glide across the ground towards one of these bovines that was distracted by your dropship. You're kind of circling around, watching this take place,
Mm-hmm.
and several of these things pounce on top of it, and they seem to be um, latched on to this bovine, and it takes a moment for it to have so many on top of it that it just falls over from the weight of these things.
How big are they?
Uh, uh, they're about maybe 2 to 3 feet long. It's hard to tell from here. There seems to be several different sizes,
Hmm.
but they are nowhere near as big as the bovine. But through sheer number, they're kind of dragging it to the
Right.
ground, and
Wow.
they seem to be like feeding off of it, almost like they're just almost like a leech, just sucking blood off of it. And
Archie's recording
eventually,
this on video, by the way.
and eventually, the bovine stops struggling as death takes it, and they continue to feed off of it uh, for about as unless you stay here for hours, the whole time that you're going to be here.
Hmm.
Fascinating.
The rest of the bovines, when they saw this, heard this take place, they started running. But maybe about a kilometer or so away, they seem to have come to a stop and started grazing again after it appeared to be safe.
Interesting. Maybe we should see what the remains of the body look like once these slug things move off away from them. Maybe give us an idea what we're dealing with as far as what sort of injuries they can inflict.
Good idea.
You know,
Well,
if only we had somebody scientifically minded who would want to go out there and check that.
Hmm.
we ought to. I think that's a great idea.
Well, I will come along with you, Yoko, but we
If
need
we
some
bring the ship
sufficient security.
can we get Kip? Can we get closer to the site?
Yeah, I can get. Yeah, we can get
I
a
want to
little
bring the
closer.
ship
Sure.
close and see if that like disrupts the
Yeah.
creatures and their feasting.
I would like
Sure.
to tag some of these creatures
Yeah.
to track their movements.
Yeah, if you if you're going to get fly the dropship really close to these things, like within 100 feet from the ground, uh, the sound it drives them off.
Okay.
They leave the carcass behind and
Mm-hmm.
disappear into the tall grass.
We should collect that. Can you land near it?
Oh yeah, I can get near there. Sure.
Or else we could drop down the like the hook.
The claw.
Yeah,
The claw.
exactly. The claw.
I love using the claw.
How good is your piloting?
So, are you going to
All right.
land, or
Can we use a claw?
what is the
Yeah.
claw exactly?
What is the claw?
I don't
What?
remember.
The claw. It's like you drop it from the center of the ship and you pick things up with it. It's a claw.
Oh, had we
Every
established
ship's
that
gotta
this
have
is
a.
the thing on the dropship? Not
I
a
thought we
dropship.
were.
A dropship is just used from getting from orbit to the ground.
I don't know. You tell. I'm just. You know what? I'm going for broke here. But I mean, if you want to
I mean, it's
say
the
there's no
Transporter
future,
claw,
might
man.
be
It could be
better.
on there.
you know.
Okay. All right. On a roll of 1 to 2 on a d6, there's a claw on the side of the dropship. There's not a claw.
No claw.
There's no claw. I didn't see you there.
There's no claw. No.
Oh, okay.
You left the claw up on the Solometsky Island.
Oh shoot.
There has to be like a rope though. You lower a rope.
And
Yeah, you
do
can
what?
lower. Yeah.
Lower a rope.
Yeah, like
What,
you
the little
know, like
lasso it?
I'll have one foot in the grappling hook, and you lower me down, and then I'll hook the body on, and then you can lift this thing
Okay,
back
all
up.
right. Okay,
We're getting this
okay,
dead bovine. Huh, okay.
all
I'd
right.
rather shoot a tranquilizer dart into one of them and get them live.
Uh, I want to see what kind of injuries these creatures are inflicting upon the bovines.
Right, like we have
That's what
like
I
a
was thinking.
gurney or something for an airlift, right? If we needed to airlift someone, so whatever we would use for that,
Yeah.
we want to use that.
Somewhat perverse kit, but I like what you're thinking.
Yeah, okay. I'll take that as a positive endorsement of the highest degree from you.
Yeah.
Yes. All right. Okay, let's do it. And we don't have to put in the ship. We could actually take it back to our beacon area.
To the beacon, yeah.
If you're concerned about bringing it on board the ship.
Yeah, we probably don't want to bring it on the ship right now.
Yeah. All right.
All right.
So
So this is Yoko doing this.
I'll transfer
Yeah.
this thing's body onto the gurney.
Uh-huh.
Okay. All right. Kip flies in low, and Yoko goes out onto the rope and hooks this thing up.
Yoko.
What, isn't that what I said, Yoko?
Yeah.
Yeah, I said go Yoko.
Oh, okay.
Go
So
Yoko.
as
Go Yoko. Yeah.
Yoko is is securing the carcass of this thing to the rope, and that's when he notices something odd about the wounds where these things seem to be sucking what he assumed was sucking the blood out of the bovine.
What was that?
Let me see.
So you start to inspect one of the wounds, and you realize that it actually seemed to have implanted some sort of egg inside of the wound that it created.
Ooh.
And that's where we're going to stop. So it is 5 minutes after 10.
Oh gosh, okay.
Wound eggs.
Ooh.
We were supposed to do XP today, but unfortunately, I think we'll have to do that over Discord.
Okay.
Sounds good.
We'll go through that. I'll do a couple, at least one question a day, if not do them all at one time, depending on everybody's availability to answer.
Okay.
Well, let's do the easy one right now. Did we all play today? Yes, we did.
There you
Yes.
go. 1
Yeah.
XP.
So everybody's going to get at least 1 XP. So you can mark that one off right away.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
All right. So we will pick up with this next week. I don't anticipate having any issues of playing for quite some time. But
You won't have issues. Okay. I will be gone the week after. I'm going to British Columbia for a week.
so that's the 18th? Or no. It's in October.
No.
Sorry, I was looking at November.
October,
The
sorry.
21st.
No,
The
wait,
21st, you'll be fine.
Wait. I'm going the week after Thanksgiving up here, so that's
You're gonna have to tell us.
I know. I'm looking at it right now. No, Thanksgiving
Okay.
is the weekend of the 13th. So yeah, I won't be here on the 14th.
Okay. All right.
That's all. I'm shooting you by.
All right.